into the thigh as you bring your head up. You feel a little more activation across that upper back. And then bring it back. Inhale, up with the chest to the ceiling. Push your hand into your thigh. A little more engagement into the upper back. And bring it down. Now I want you to pop your hands on your pelvis. I want you to give a little wiggle of the hips. And I want you now to hover your right hip off the seat and plant it down. And left hip off the seat and down. Right hip off and down. Left hip off and down. And now right hip off, and I want you just to brush the seat with your right sit bones if you're trying to brush crumbs off it. And then bring it back down. And left cheek off, brushing the seat. This is warming up and loosening up the pelvis. And back we go. And now we're feeling that nice balance across the pelvis. So we want to bring a little bit of workload up into the abdominal wall now. So if you put your hands up onto the tummy and onto the lower back. And you're going to notice that as you go into a slouch position, you press your lower back gently into the chair behind, rounding your spine. You feel length in the back and tightness to the front. And then the other way, if you push your lower back forward, you'll find that you're stretching your belly and tightening your back. So what we're looking for is that nice, happy space in between, feeling both the waist, the belly, and the back working evenly, and not one, you're not feeling tension more in one area than the other. And then you're going to see, can you maintain that and float up onto your tippy toes and bring it down. Float up onto the tippy toes. You feel a little bit more rattle cocoon around your waist as you do that, but you're noticing that even front back, side to side. Up onto the tippy toes, imagine you're standing in the ice, and just notice that challenge around your waist evenly and dropping down. Now put the hands lightly on your chest and notice, can you do that same work without feeling any tension in your chest and shoulders? Because we know that the less we feel in the chest and shoulders, the more our center is working. Take a breath, glide up onto the tippy toes, same movement as before, but you're noticing if you're starting to hold tension in your shoulders, in your neck, in your chest, and what can you do to release that? Glide it up onto the toes and down. And now we're going to glide up onto the toes, release the arms down, and then we're going to alternate our heel lifts. So you're going to drop that left heel, keep your right toe up, and switch. And you're noticing each time that you barely feel your tippy toe on the floor, heel to toe, prancing on the floor. And then I want you to come back and stop when you have your right heel up, your left heel down. And now take a breath out again. As you float that right toe off, can you notice a little bit more wrap around the waist? But you're noticing that your right leg is dropping into the hip, but you're not pushing into your left for support. There's no tension in your chest and shoulders. You feel as you lift a little more challenge around your waist, maybe a little more between your hip bones to the front to your navel. And one and down, and switch onto the tippy toe of the left and lift. Are you keeping your sit bones nice and balanced? And two, and one, and bring it down. Lovely. So I want you now to grab your weights. Great. So let the arms hang. And we're going to do a little side stretch. You're going to bring your right arm up to the ceiling, left hand to the floor, and you're going to slowly just reach over to that left hand side. Take a breath, bring it back and switch. Reach up, over we go, bring it back. Switch. And switch. And bring it back. Now let's bring our right hand behind our head. And now take a breath, and as you go over, reach your right elbow to the ceiling. Bring it back. Same side for two more. Elbow to ceiling. Can you keep that right sit bone on the chair? And then let's switch. Left elbow, ear to shoulder. And last one. And bring it up and down. So now I want you to bring your right knee over your left, like a cup of tea, crisscross. And you're going to bring your right hand onto your right knee. You can pop your weight there if you wish. And now the left hand, you're going to bring your elbow up and your ball to your chest, and you're going to look behind. And as you look behind, you're going to use the hand on your knee to push you around a little bit further. And then we're going to open that up with a nice open arm. I'm going to go forward a little bit, so I have a little bit of space. So you're going to open in front and reach behind. Hand in front. Let your head follow your hand and bring it back. Okay, let's crisscross those legs the other way. Same hand on the knee as the top leg, the leg you have over. And the other one is going on your chest. And the first part is the elbow. And you can use your hand on your knee to push you around a little bit more. And one. And then add a little more whoosh with the arm. One more. And bring it back and release them down. So a little wriggle gliding in. And we're going to take a breath and you're going to float up onto those tippy toes. And we're going to bring the arms in front. So balls are facing each other or your weights are facing each other. So I want you to bring your right hand in, elbow in, as if you're pulling, if you're doing a bow and arrow and you're pulling the bow back. And then you're going to shoot it out. Pull the bow back as if you're drawing it back to shoot the arrow and shoot the arrow. Right elbow back and shoot the arrow. One more and shoot the arrow. Now, the elbow you're drawing back, you're going to float the knee on that side as well. So right elbow, right knee lifts, and then shoot. Left elbow, left knee, and shoot. Inhale. Notice that you're not rocking your pelvis. 2. And 1. And release them down. Now I want you to bring yourself to the front of the chair. And you're going to take a breath and you're just going to lift the arms high, roll down your spine and roll down as far as it feels like a nice, easy drop in spine. And then bring it up. Bring your hands back behind and lift the chair up, or lift your chest up. And again, rolling down. And bring it back up. One more. Now I'm going to turn to my right leg, bring my left arm in between my leg, and you're going to roll down to that right foot. Bring it back up, and then switch. Down to my left. Rolling it back up one more time. Down to my right. Down to my left. And back. Now I'm going to get you to lean slightly forward. So you're just leaning slightly forward, the kind of a nice neutral spine, just hinge a little bit at your hips. And then I want you to, you can widen your legs a little bit in this one, and I want you to bring your arms in as if you're hugging around a big tree in front of you. Shoulders melted, and again, little apple under the chin or a little fist under the chin to make sure you're not like this with the head. So you're hugging a tree, one arm in front of the other. I have my right hand on top of my left. And then I want you to bring it wide and open and pull the elbows back behind. And then bring it in and hug your tree again. And then bring it back. Now, what I want you to do now is switch around the arms each time. Left on top, right on top. And you feel those back muscles between your shoulder blades across the upper back really work to bring those arms back. One more. And now I want you to bring your arms and bring the legs in, arms up by your side, and we're going to do our swimming arms. So the hands, even though your body's a little bit hinged forward from the hip, you're now going to bring your right arm up by your ear, and the left arm is going to push away behind. And you're going to switch. Feeling the tops of the arms Stay nice and connected into your chest. You want loads of space in your neck. You might find one arm is happy to go a little further than the other. So you just work with what each arm is willing to do. Inhale, exhale, 2, 1, and let's bring it down. Let's hang out and then bring it up. And we'll do a few shoulder rolls there just to tease out the shoulders, the neck after that. Lovely. Okay, so I want you to come up to standing, and we can leave the balls or the weights on your chair. But if you can turn your chair around, now if you have the accessibility to push it against a sofa or a nice weighty chair, you might find until you get used to the exercises that you don't feel that you're worried about the chair sliding or anything. We can do it with nothing in front of the chair once you, but if you feel a little nervous of the chair support, push it against something that you feel will give you a little bit more sense of support. So I'm just going to move my, does that work? Okay, so I want you to bring your hands up and wiggle yourself back. Softness in your knees, and we're going to think about our tail, like a little puppy dog, a little wag of the tail. So I want you to poke your tail out behind, and then tuck your tailbone in underneath. And then inhale, and you'll feel that the arms on the chair just keeps the upper thoracic quite steady, upper back quite steady. So you really feel it's the lower back that's kind of rocking and rolling there. And then if you find a kind of halfway point, and then push your backside behind your heels until you feel a nice stretch down the backs of the legs. And then from there, you're going to soften up the knees, and then you're going to straighten one leg, and then straighten the other. And you'll find that your pelvis will kind of do a little bit of a salsa zumba kind of move there, and that's fine. Tease and out, and then bring it back and in. So now I want you to step a little closer, and you'll find that you'll find a distance that suits your body. We're going to go into a nice rounded spine, and then you're going to bring yourself up tall, let yourself go forward and up. So this is a case you might find that you want something solid in front of your chair, or you can keep it out, but just feel that you're lifting forward from your chest and not pushing your chair forward. If you feel comfortable to go up onto your toes and reach your chin to the ceiling, do so. And then bring it down, soften your knees and round. And up we go. And inhale, round. Up into extension. One more, round and out. Up into extension. And bring it back. Step a little closer so you feel the tippy fingers are on, but then again in a moment if we feel we don't need it, we can just hover the hands, but it's there if you need it. So soften your knees. Like when we're on the chair, standing, we're going to find that we have that nice neutral pelvis. We're noticing the workload even here and the less work here. So if you need support, or you can hover your hands, whatever works. So let's take a breath. And you're going to float up onto the toes. You feel a little bit more work in the pelvis and your abdominal wall. And down we go. Up onto the toes. And now if you can, we're going to float up onto the toes and glide the arms. And down. Glide the arms. And down. One more. Now let's stay up and alternate the heels. Prancing along just like we did on the seat. Hands in front if you need, hands up if you can. 2, 1, and down. Now from here, we're going to float up onto the toes and soften our knees just over our toes. And then I want you to take a breath, and I want you to drop your heels and lift onto the toes. And you feel the calves work, you'll feel your quads work here. Now you're welcome if this is a little bit too challenging just to go one foot at a time. 3, and 2, and 1, and let's bring it down. Okay, so we're going to go into some strength work on the legs now. So I'm going to bring my chair to the side so you can see. Okay, so we're going to take a breath and we're going to take that top leg or that right leg and hover it with a flat foot. We're going to try and keep our pelvis nice and steady and the steady leg nice and rooted into the floor. So keep that left hip and foot rooted to the floor and send that right leg behind. And it's going behind. And we feel the muscles in the back of the leg, cheek of the back side, hamstring, kicking in. Soften your supporting legs so you don't feel you're getting stuck in your knee. And feel the back of the leg work. And now we're going to bend that right knee and we're going to bring the heel to back side and stretch it back. And notice that your knee doesn't come in too far in front because then you'll feel your quad and your hip in front. You want to keep that workload to the back. Think of long thigh and then shortening and lengthening the hamstring and the glute. And one more. And now you're going to keep up in that bent knee position. Imagine there's something heavy behind your right foot. Keep the left soft. If you feel it's getting a little tired, that's okay. It's building up balance and support. You're going to push into that heavy wall behind you. So something behind the flat of your foot. Notice there's no tension in your chest. And a one. And now bring the knee up in front. And you're going to go wide to the side. And again, bunching up the cheek at the back side and lengthen. Try and keep your hip bones like headlights facing forward. Two more. And a one. And now we're going to tease it out by just bringing your knee in front of the opposite leg and out. So you're kind of a little kind of a spiral figure of 8, I think is the best way. So you're circling in, circling out. Keep the other hip nice and steady and just sweep and circle and circle, circle and 2 and a 1. Okay, so let's bring that leg down and I want you to step your left leg back and just give that leg that you just worked a nice stretch. You're welcome to float your toe here if you wish, or just keep it down, but push your backside back. And then we'll bring it in, and if you can, reach behind and give it a little stretch in the quad, and catch your sock if you want here. And then bringing it down. So we're going to do the other side. I'll just swing my chair around. Okay, so we start by taking the feet under the hips, little fist distance between your feet, softness in all your joints, and you're aware that you're working evenly around your abdominal wall and no tension in your neck and shoulders. Take a breath and just hover that left leg back behind. Target in the back of the leg, press. Noticing you're keeping the connection between your pelvis and ribcage to the front. You might find this leg feels a little stronger or a little weaker. Keep your opposite leg, the knee nice and soft. You don't feel you're gripping at any point. 2 more. Last one. And hold. And now you're going to bring the heel to back side and stretch it back. Shortening. And you notice that my knee is not coming in. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my knee behind and I'm reaching and bending, trying to keep that work on the back of the leg. Stretch. Tension out of my neck and shoulders. And then we're going to keep the position, my start position, flatten my foot, push into the wall behind you. Now, if you have a wall there like I have, you can really push in and really feel the back of the legs. You can really push into that wall. If not, just visualize that wall. And now we're going to bring the knee in front. And we're going to go out to the side, keeping your hip bones aimed in front. And again, you might find your supporting leg on this side might find it's getting harder because you've already worked it. So you might find it, those stabilizing muscles in your right leg are really starting to give out to you now. And then we're going to tease out this hip with that little circle in, circle out, circle in and out. So lovely movement in the moving leg. The opposite leg, you're staying pretty steady. Moving, 3, 2, 1, and we'll bring it in. That leg you just worked, you keep it in front. The right leg is going back and bending. Push your backside back, stretching to that left leg. You can float the foot if you wish. And then we'll bring it back. And then we can catch and up into that quad stretch. And release, and then turn and face me. Just bring that chair around to the side again. And we're going to lengthen out the arms, soften the knees, and we're going to go into a side bend stretch here. So sorry, feet hip distance apart. You can push your pelvis away from the chair, bring your arm up, and stretch it out. And bring it back. And then you're going to reach it over, and then reach in the diagonal forward. Reach in front, and bring it back to start position. To the side, out on the diagonal, in front, and back and up, and release. Okay, when you do the other side. Up we come, push your pelvis away, stretch it out, bring it up. Bringing it up, and then we'll go over, out the diagonal, out in front, and back to center. Over, diagonal, in front, and back and up, and release and down. Lovely. So let me get you to pop on your seat one more time. And if you want to grab your weight, you can. If your arms are feeling a little tired at this stage, just pop them to the floor. So we're going to open up the chest and shoulders. And we're going to bring the hands up onto the chest. And we're going to take a breath, and I want you to go up onto the tippy toes and feel that nice center work evenly around your waist. No tension in the chest and shoulders. And then take a breath and float that right toe off the floor, and we're going to rotate to the right. Bring it back to center and lower down. Up onto the left tippy toe, float your left and turn to the left and back. Float the right, rotate to the right and back and down. Float the left, rotate to the left, back and down. Lift, rotate, back and down. Last one, lift, rotate, and back and down. And again, we're just going to soften the arms, roll it down to the floor. You're welcome to leave the balls there and let yourself hang out. Bring yourself back up. Hands to the back of the chair, hands pushing into the side of the chair as you lift up. And back to center. Now I'm going to get you to wriggle forward to the front of your chair, heels on the floor, grab just the end of the edge of your chair there, and you're going to drop your chin to chest and ease your weight on towards the feet and lift your backside up, and then bring it down and release. So I'm rolling down, feeling the weight shift onto my feet, lift my backside and down. One more, getting that sense of push and lift from the legs, press and down. Now we're going to add to that now. Let the arms float, take a breath, same movement, roll down, get the weight onto the feet, this time lift up. Search with the headlights of your backside to find your seat and down you come. Rolling down, press and up. Search for the seat behind you And down we go. 2 more. Whooshing it up. 1 more. Lovely. Okay, so you're going to pop your right ankle on top of your left. If you need to reach your left leg away a little lower, that's absolutely fine. If you can bring it in and you feel a nice stretch into the hip here, grabbing that leg, take your breath and just give yourself a little roll down as far as you feel it helps with the stretch. Bring it back up. And then we'll switch. Left leg up. Get the ankle on if you can. I'm a little sticker on this side myself, as you can see. And then I'm going to roll down. And release and down. Now I want you to take your arms forward and up. And to the side and down. Take a nice deep breath in. And last one. Hold it there. Go ear to shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. And back to center and release. And let's just take a moment and let all of that information you feel from your toes, from your fingertips, flood back into your brain. Taking a moment to be present in that sense of feeling centered and grounded within your body. Noticing the feedback and the positive feedback you're feeling from your joints, your muscles, your bones. Connecting to that feeling so you can tap into it for the rest of the day. Anytime you feel anxiety or stress, and you see if you can search for this nice moment that you're feeling right now when everything is a little more present and at peace and grounded. And see if you can revert back. Great, done and dusted, Rosemary. No, sorry, I'll unmute you.